Since 1984, Northshore Food Bank has been a cornerstone of downtown Covington, proudly serving all of St. Tammany Parish. Each week, we provide essential supplemental food resources to more than 350 households and partner organizations to support the most vulnerable in our community. Directly addressing food insecurity through a number of different programs, North Shore Food Bank specifically delivers weekend food bags to 8 different public elementary schools and also to operate student choice pantries in 3 public high schools for those experiencing homelessness. Join the fight. Visit northshorefoodbank.org to learn how. Lane Kiffin wrapping up his first transfer portal class. We're breaking down some more film on the Hannycast.
The Hannycast, a weekly LSU football film study with Charles Hanagriff and former LSU tight end Richard Dickon. Now to break down the Tiger tape, here's Charles and Richard.
And we welcome you in the Hannycast for Tuesday, January the 20th. I'm Charles Hanagriff, along with former Tiger Richard Dickon. And I'll tell you that we're doing this, we are taping this at 6 p.m. on Tuesday, June the 20th, because there are probably going to be a couple more additions to this transfer portal class before we completely wrap this thing up. But we're not gonna jump the gun on anything. We're going to do our final roster breakdown next week before we make the transition to baseball. So if there's a little extra film next week, we will show it to you. By the time you're watching this, you probably will know Jordan Seaton's destination. The big tackle from Colorado has been here in Baton Rouge for the past, the better part of 2 days, and did not make his scheduled trip to Oregon. He's going to Mississippi State and Miami. LSU is in great shape here. We think that LSU, Shea Dixon, I'm not giving away any of his secrets here. This is published multiple spots that he has forecast Seaton to LSU. And Richard, if they get Jordan Seaton, it's one of the biggest names in the entire portal class for anybody at a huge need position for LSU.
Well, that's the biggest thing is it fixes our immediate need. We've gone through all the roster breakdowns the previous 2 weeks and the transfer portal and what guys are coming in, and the questions the whole time. And the first episode we did is, where's the offensive lineman? We haven't seen him yet. Second one, we got a few more guys in. It was guys that, a lot of guys were backups last year or it played at a smaller division, and we're waiting to, they're kind of wait-and-see pieces. This is a surefire thing, and this is the one that, it's got everybody's attention. Everybody's been watching it. I've been updating my phone probably 3 times an hour for the last 2 days just to see what's going on. It's a big deal.
To add a left tackle of his caliber would just be such a huge shot in the arm. LSU's, the national championship game last night, Indiana wins it, so they came out with odds for next year to win the national championship, and LSU is anywhere from 6 to 8 or 9, depending on where you shop. To do that when you're turning over, we were doing the numbers, and we'll do the official numbers next week, but you're turning over 2/3 of your roster here. To be able to do that and still have this kind of expectations is phenomenal. Lane Kiffin was speaking at a leadership breakfast this morning. He certainly believes that they are ready to make a splash in year one. The other player that we're not going to show you any film yet, but we'll do it next week if he is in the fold, is Princewill Umanmielen. And this is a defensive end from Ole Miss who had 9 sacks this year for Ole Miss. Quick quiz. Who led LSU in sacks and how many?
What's cheating? Because I heard you talk about it earlier.
Okay.
Harold Perkins, 4.
With 4, okay. Yeah. So this guy had 6'5", 245 pounds.
When's the last time we've had a defensive lineman with that 9 sack?
Braden Swinson, I want to say, had 8.5, okay. 8 or 8.5. But you got to go back a couple 3 years.
Yeah. When I came to LSU and the years I played in, it was the thing that scared everybody about LSU was the defensive line. I mean, I'm talking about Tyson Alexander, Glenn Dorsey, Marlon Favorite, a lot of guys that spent a lot of time in the NFL that disrupted things up front. And, that's one thing that everybody's been waiting to get back to.
Well, Umanmielen would definitely help. His brother's in the NFL.
I got Charles Alexander and Tyson Jackson mixed up.
Yeah, well, they were all
both very good.
really, really good. His brother in the league with the Carolina Panthers. So to be able to get him would be quite an ad. But we're not we're not there yet. So those are two more that they could add, and whatever else, we'll finish that up next week. We got the rest of the film that we're going to show you of the current players that we haven't shown you yet. We've got 9 more tonight. We are brought to you by the Capital Area USSSA baseball affiliate here in Baton Rouge, hosting events for all skill levels, rec all-star divisions, AA, AAA, Major League, state, and national events. Exciting events lined up for this fall and into next spring. For more information, contact Lane Petrie at 771-9095, 225-771-9095. And we're also brought to you by Cina in the heart of downtown Hammond, upscale Italian restaurant with traditional Italian dishes in a contemporary fashion, inspired by an abundance of fresh local produce and the ways of old. Cina, creating a unique dining experience. Their goal is to use local ingredients and delicious recipes to create an exceptional dining experience and provide a fresh and inclusive atmosphere enjoyed by everyone. Cina in downtown Hammond. All right, we're going to start off today with quarterback Husan Longstreet, 6 foot, 200 pounds from USC, was a 5-star quarterback, played 4 games as a true freshman, 13 out of 15, 103 yards and a touchdown. He also had 76 rushing yards on the season. He is from Centennial High School, Corona, California. That's North Orange County. In high school, he accounted for 8,500 yards and 83 touchdowns. So he's pretty good. Of all of the stars and all of the things that we've seen here, as we get ready to take a look at Husan Longstreet, he might be the most unlikely add of all of them, Rich. And I say that because they got him after they got Sam Leavitt.
And after, he was the third QB committed in this class.
He was. And we're going to watch. He played only in mop-up duty this year. So this is something you're going to see. This film here is when USC was ahead by 32 points. And you're going to see a little bit of this against Missouri State when they were way up. So I'm just giving you this to get a good look at what he looks like as a passer. And you can see he's got the elusive moves. He's got very good speed. He's got a big arm.
That right there to me is a must in a quarterback these days. The guy that can escape the
especially
pocket,
in this system.
Move around. Extend plays, allow guys to get open down the field. These are the things that that we've missed here recently, but it allows you don't have to be excellent on the offensive line when you have a quarterback that can move this way.
If you look at him and you squint a little bit, you can see, at least in my mind, somebody who's about 2 inches taller, maybe an inch taller, but has a lot of the same traits as Trinidad Chambliss.
Yeah.
Somebody who can move, somebody who can throw on the run, somebody who is elusive, and you're going to see him keep another one here. There's some passes in here, I promise you. But Longstreet could have gone a lot of places and demanded to be a starter.
Yeah, well, that's to me like the most impressive thing is that I don't know what he's got going on in these conversations, but selling a kid like him, a former 5-star freshman, a guy that was highly touted, a lot of people want to go after this guy and say, hey, look, I want you to come sit for one more year. I want you to come sit.
And he already sat a year.
Yeah, I mean, your selling pitch right there has to be pretty damn good to say, hey, look, I know you're ready to play. You're a 5-star. Those guys don't want to wait. But I want you to come wait for one more year, and then let's have a blowout year in 2 years.
And we think about some of the places that are still looking for a quarterback. There's a nice little short pass there. Miami is still looking for a quarterback, although they may have gone prospecting up around Duke.
Did I
Tennessee.
hear that Duke is suing that quarterback?
Duke is suing Darian Mensah for breach of contract because he had signed a 2-year deal here. This is Husan Longstreet. He may not play much this year, but he is going to be a big factor in the future.
We're going to get a good look at him in the spring.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Leavitt will not be able to take, we don't think, any live snaps in the spring. Now, this next guy I think you are going to love. We don't have a lot of film on him, but what we've got, Zack Grace, who is listed as a tight end, but is really more of a fullback, H-back type deal.
I'll take that.
6'3", 238 pounds from Oregon. He's played in 24 games the last 2 years. He has 0 catches and 0 rushes. You know what that means? He is a blocker.
My new favorite tight end right now.
We just got a little bit of film on him. So we'll take a look at Zack Grace at Oregon, and you're going to see this from the end zone. That's not him. That's the running back that scored the touchdown. But you're going to see that's him, 44, and you're going to see him. Look, it's an I formation, Rich.
Yeah.
Remember that? Whack.
Oh, look at that. Good hat placement, good hands, wide base. Doesn't need to be taught much right there.
So this is a little bit of a highlight of him. All right, so here you're going to see him again. He's going to come in motion here, and you're just going to see some of the things that they did with him, and he misses the guy completely there. I don't know why they put that on the highlight film, but he kept him out of – he didn't make the tackle.
I'll tell you what he did right is he stayed on the right angle and forced the guy to run around him.
Yeah.
You don't always have to hit the guy to make a good block. If you make him run around you, the seam's still open.
Well, so those were the highlights I could get from a blocking fullback, H-back, tight end. But I figured you'd like the one on the I formation to go on.
I'll tell you what, after watching that and thinking about back to our film breakdown of Ole Miss and we were breaking down the offense, we talked about how often they had a tight end in the backfield and the guy that they motioned around.
Yeah.
It's obviously something that he's seen him do it, and that's a big part of his offense and the guys that they want in the backfield that can play that fullback, H-back style of play, and it fits perfectly to the film breakdown we did on his offense.
Here's my prediction for next year. 3 catches, 3 carries. Once every other game, they're going to slip this guy the ball when nobody expects it.
Put him at tight end. Put the WR next to Trades Green. Fix my issues right now. And,
Somebody's protecting his record.
Happy. I think he already got it.
What? No, 0 catches, 0 rushes in 2 years. I'll just bet you he gets the ball just a handful of times just when nobody in the entire stadium is expecting
4th
it.
and 2, 3rd and 2. He's going to come across like he's going to block, sleep out,
right.
get a catch.
Might even be on a 1st and 10, and they're just slipping him out of the backfield, and nobody's going to cover him. And if he catches it, he's going to run forever. We're brought to you by Marucci Sports. From a backyard shed to the top of the game. More than just a baseball bat company, a legacy built on passion and precision. 2 decades of crafting the finest wood, metal, and leather in the sport. Here to help you run the game, MarucciSports.com. Hitter's House at 5801 Segan Lane, 1801 Airline Drive in Metairie. Members have 24/7 access to the members-only cages, bullpen cage reservation opportunities, 15% rental store discount, and you can go to MarucciSports.com. Also by Dependable Storage with 8 locations in Louisiana, 1 in Gulfport, Mississippi. Matching any competitor's pricing, convenient online rentals and payments, free use of the moving truck for new rental move-ins, clean, secure, and conveniently located facilities. Check out the website at dependablestorage.com for locations, pricing, and rentals. Like Skip Bertman always says, at Dependable Storage, they want your stuff. All right, there were 3 linemen that played, offensive linemen that played various amounts last year at their schools, so we don't have video on them, but I want to tell you about all 3 of them. Sean Tompkins, 6'5", 300 pounds from Baylor, played in 10 games with 5 starts, 460 snaps, most of those coming at the end of the year when he moved into a full-time starting role. His FPF grade, Pro Football Focus grade, was 67 against the run and 82 against the pass. So
he looks the part.
Yeah, no, he is every bit big enough to play somewhere on the offensive line. 6'5", 300 pounds, Sean Tompkins from Baylor. Devin Harper from Ole Miss, somebody that obviously he's very familiar with, 6'4", 315 pounds from Calvary Baptist in Shreveport. He was originally an LSU commitment, swapped over to Ole Miss. He played in 6 games, so he did not redshirt last year, played 72 snaps, and will figure in here as Devin Harper. And Aliu Ba, 6'6", 327 pounds from Maryland. He is a 5th-year senior. He started his career at Georgia. He has been a 2-year starter at Maryland, 23 starts in the last 2 seasons. So, again, you got a guy with 23 starts, a guy with 5 starts, a guy with no starts, but 3 developed offensive linemen.
5th-year senior is big when you're just trying to get a guy that's mature, been around college football, seen a lot of film, seen a lot of game plans. He's a guy that can bring a little bit of experience to the line room.
I remember we were sitting at practice last year in August, and we were watching the defense. And, of course, the defense had been bad for a while, and they had gotten better under Baker the first year when this was going into the second year. And we're watching, and I heard somebody says, is it possible this defense is good? I got a feeling we might say that with the offensive line if I don't know what Kiffin's practice policies are going to be, but we may look at this offensive line at some point in August and go, hang on a second. This has been a sieve for 4 years. This may actually be a strength going into this season. All right, let's move on. Our next player is Fahim Delane, safety out of Ohio State. If that name sounds familiar, well, it should, because his brother, Mansour Delane, was a All-American here this year. At Ohio State, Delane played 5 games, had 12 tackles, 6'1", 210 pounds. He played in 5 games, so he is a sophomore. We're gonna, but most of that was on special teams, just a little bit of backup stuff. So we're gonna show you some of the high school film. Some of this is a lot of this is offensive, but we want you to get a look at him to see what you're looking at. Yeah, here you see him coming off the corner, whack.
Yep. I have a feeling he had probably out of all the guys, might have been the easiest one to recruit because his brother could just tell him exactly what he needed to do.
What it's like here, but obviously completely different coaching staff there. You see him getting through.
Well, defensively, I mean, Mansour could tell him all about what Blake Baker expects with Corey Raymond. Now this guy's a safety. He's dealing with Jake Olson.
He's got a level of aggression that you see here, and for somebody that's this is a high school film. He had good size. He's 6'2". Hang on, let me get this right. 6'1", 210. That's nice size for a safety. That's which all of a sudden has become a very crowded position at LSU.
And you got the guy out of Boise. We really like Spears coming back, but that's a secondary room that you feel really comfortable about.
Here he is knocking down a pass. So you see him in coverage there. Picks up the receiver, goes with him there. Another play here into the backfield. Fahim Delane.
And he's a kick returner.
In high school he was.
One of my favorite kick returners at LSU was a safety.
Let's see. Was he Tyrann Mathieu? Are we calling him a safety?
No. Guy I played, Chad Jones. I love watching Chad play.
Right.
He was one of those guys similar to Tyrann. Chad wasn't a blazer, but he just knew how to read the field, make cuts, move around.
That's nice. That convergence right there. Yeah, I remember one return he had. It wasn't a punt return, but it was on a Mississippi State. That was it a fumble or an interception?
That was a punt return because
was it a punt return?
The big joke was Patrick Peterson.
I know what I'm thinking of. He was in the goal line stand
against Alabama.
Game after the.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen a Mississippi State coach do. You got Anthony Dixon, who led the SEC in rushing, and
about 240 pounds, right?
Yeah, and they were on the goal line. And they threw 2 passes. I would have, if I had Anthony Dixon, I'm running 4 times in a row and he's getting in there.
And I think they probably wish they would have done that. That's Fahim Delane. We are also brought to you by Town Square Pizza. For pickup or delivery and catering available, North Boulevard, downtown Baton Rouge, Monday through Saturday from 11 until 8. Delicious, personalized pizzas, square pizzas with unmatched speed. You're working downtown, you got a limited amount of time for lunch. Hit the Town Square Pizza on North Boulevard, right across from Town Square. Big, generous portions. You're probably going to have a little bit left over. We said safety was getting crowded. Let's look at our next player, who is Mason Dossett. Dossett coming over from Baylor, 6'1", 194 pounds. Played 2 games. He was a wide receiver for them and played some safety early in the season, switched over to wide receiver out of necessity. He is expected to be a safety here, but I think the highlights that we got are him as a wide receiver, but he is planning on moving back to safety. So he played both at Baylor while he was there. He is a redshirt sophomore. Yeah. You see him backing up. Little twist there. Here he is on the back side. And you see him playing receiver again. And again, this is high school film because he just did not play a whole lot at Baylor. Just a couple of plays, a couple of games last year. But some of these are depth pieces, and some of these are guys that we expect to play a lot. And I think you can.
Would you say what was his age or class?
He's a redshirt sophomore.
Okay.
So I think you're looking at a depth piece there,
Yeah.
guy that they feel has got some versatility. Our next player is running back Stacy Gage, 5'11", 200 pounds from Central Florida. 2 years, 13 carries, had a touchdown. So we're going to see just a little bit of him. Running back room is also pretty crowded. This is he's only been there for 1 year, so we're seeing a little bit of high school film here. Is a nice twist for him. I'm sorry, redshirt sophomore, so he didn't play a whole lot in college. So we got you a little bit of high school film to look at him.
He's got really quick feet running through tackles. That jump cut he has right there is pretty solid.
He had offers from Georgia, Florida, and Ohio State out of high school. He just didn't play a whole bunch at UCF for whatever reason. So again, another depth piece and a guy who has a tremendous amount of potential.
Like, it's one of those things we talk about. I mean, Kevin Smith is a Central Florida guy. Guy that probably is familiar with his high school programs.
Yeah.
Guy that has seen him play, knows the potential, and he's one of those guys that you got to trust the evaluation of what Kevin's seen, what he's been around, and he's a guy that trust to bring in.
When they knew that they had to bring in 40 some odd guys, but by the time we're done with this, it doesn't just become basically, hey guys, anybody that you once recruited that you didn't get, that is in the portal, anybody that you have looked at a lot of film on, know a coach or whatever, we got to redo this whole doggone roster. Yeah. So, look, they ain't all going to be 5 stars. So some of these guys we've had to dig up a little film. Some didn't play a whole bunch. Some of them are maybe ready to develop. He got a quarterback out of Ferris State last year and damn near made it to the national championship game. So, again, if you're looking at going high school film, didn't play a whole lot, doesn't mean they're not going to develop.
Trust the guys who evaluate them.
Yeah. We are brought to you by Bayou Apparel for anything LSU. Go to everythinglsu.com, made by locals and shipping from Baton Rouge. One of the few local LSU official licensees with high-quality products to showcase your brand, established or new. They can create eye-catching designs that fit your company's message, logos, event T-shirts, promotional items for your business. Go to everythinglsu.com or call 225-928-9090. Last player we're going to look at has played a lot. Linebacker TJ Dottery, 6'2", 230 pounds from Ole Miss. They know him.
Yeah.
He has, well, let me just give you this. He started every game last year, all 15 of them, led the SEC in total tackles, 5.5 tackles for loss, a sack and a half, and 2 forced fumbles. And what you're going to look at right here is a grown-ass man.
Yeah, he's a stud. I mean, I think it was Moscone that had his stat breakdown, played 900-something snaps last year. It's a guy that they could not come off the field for Ole Miss for them to, do what they want to do.
He led the SEC in tackles. Devon Keys was right there in the top 3 because he played so much at LSU. And this is against LSU. You're going to see this shot right, whack, there. Between those two and Whit Weeks, you're talking about, I don't know, somewhere in the vicinity of 275 tackles over the last 2 seasons.
I'll take it.
Yeah, 300 tackles over the last 2 seasons. And he plays kind of all over the place. They don't mind bringing him off the edge. They don't mind bringing him in pressure situations. He's number 6. Here you see him. Okay.
Makes a good read.
Like the way he played the option there.
Yeah. A very athletic guy. Going to play that outside linebacker role. The guy did not fool him there.
6'2", 230 pounds. There's just all kind of fun things you can do with him.
That's a play right there where he doesn't give up. He doesn't quit. He missed the first tackle, gets up, chasing them down. Those are the things I'm sure that when Blake Baker watches it, that's a key trait he's looking for, guys that want to finish.
I would think he's going to play more inside than outside for LSU, but I don't know that. Who knows?
The size at 6'2", 230.
And he runs really well. That's parallel to the line of scrimmage. That's a nice tackle.
98 tackles this year?
98 total tackles.
Pretty. I'm just liking the way he reads. His head stays in the game. doesn't take a lot of.
Now
false
you see him
steps.
split out, head up on the slot, but I didn't see him drop in coverage a whole bunch. Doesn't mean he can't.
Yeah.
I just didn't see a whole lot of that on this film. I do like the way he plays that read option, though.
I mean, especially against Lenore Sellers. With
Yeah,
one of the better running-
Sellers is 230 pounds. He just took him to the ground. There's one of the ones where he was in coverage.
Yeah.
He's a dude.
I mean, he's a plug and play. He's a guy you expect to make big plays next year.
At the linebacker position, where obviously you got Weeks coming back and Keys, who played an awful lot, and you've got some quality depth there. You had some good. Charles Ross was a freshman last year that was really, really highly recruited. That didn't really play this season. So you talk about what they've got coming back at linebacker. If you go get a linebacker, you don't need the depth pieces. You've got all the depth. If you go get a guy, you're gonna get a dude.
100%.
That's a dude right there. So that gets you up to date again. As you know, far as January the 20th at
6:46.
Yeah, 6:45. The other two players again. We're waiting on them. I would imagine we will have something probably pretty quickly on them. And then next week, our final football podcast of the season, we'll do a roster breakdown. It's going to be somewhere around 2/3 new kids that between the transfer portal and the signing class. It's going to be fun to try and sort this out for spring and for the fall. And so we'll do that. We'll do that next week.
Take me halfway through next season to get all the names right.
Oh, bring your rosters. Bring your rosters when you're going out for spring. For Richard Dickon, I'm Charles Hanagriff, and for Tuesday, January the 20th, this has been the Hannycast.